Marcia, are you there? I don't know if you guys have your mics on or not, but it does not look like you're muted, but I can't hear the courtroom.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Mel?
Oh, there you go. Now I can hear you. You're good. I was just checking.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so you're the prosecutor?
Yes.
Oh, because they got someone else on here.
It's okay.
They got okay, so let me change this.
Who?
Susie,
Oh,
someone?
yes, that's my supervisor. I'm here too.
Oh, we got both.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good.
Can I give you some water?
You sure can, 2 or 3, 4.
It's just that hard. I don't want to take medicine. Anybody have any heat waves? It's hot here. Okay.
Just depends on what courtroom you in. Some of them are super cold, some of them are very humid.
All right. Thank
So
you.
this would be, you said it was 3 witnesses?
I think we're gonna be, depending on if Ms. Silver stipulates.
We're waiting on Gabby now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I said, you want me to keep them? She said, no. Leave them up here. For the interpreter. Gabby's not here yet. I did call her the other day and tell her that it was gonna be here, just a reminder. Yep, Zoom is on. Yep. Mel, YouTube's on, right?
We are streaming.
Yeah.
I do. Judge, did you, I'll wait till Ms. Silver. I forwarded the video yesterday.
I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't get it?
No. No.
Yes, yes, okay.
Thank you.
You guys left the interpreter outside?
He's talking to the, supposed to be talking to the witness.
Oh, okay. Sounds crazy, no. That made no sense. Did it?
Turn around.
Huh?
Did turn around.
Right. Yeah.
guess you're lucky you didn't stay too long last Thursday. I heard it's like a super spreader.
Yes. A lot of people out.
I can't believe, I was like, oh my God, I was talking to this one. It's right there with
A
that.
lot of people out. So. Yes.
Bill Winters passed out in the elevator. Remember, it was Monday or Tuesday. And so they didn't know what was wrong with him. And he had gotten his vaccine a couple days earlier, so they thought that's what it was, but then he got COVID. He tested positive for COVID.
Yeah, luckily we ran it out.
You were, in and out. I was not in and out.
Oh, you were, oh,
No. Nope.
you know, time passed.
I know.
Yeah.
That's how I first started to put it together, because I was in federal court on Tuesday. And Todd was supposed to have a plea hearing on my client's brother that afternoon, but they said, well, he can't come, can you Zoom, and have an associate come. He's got COVID. I'm like, oh, no. Judge Ramsey, Judge Cox. The Mr. McRickley and Mrs. I don't know who else, but it's a lot.
Yes. Brittany figured out.
Sure you go.
So I need to actually just print something. Totally correct, and I apologize, Robert.
Yes.
Interpreter still on the hallway. Yeah. Okay. Officer, can you get the interpreter and?
Madam Clerk. Email me something, print it for me.
Here you go.
How are you? Madam Clerk.
Yeah.
Archie.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. You come up. So you want your client back?
Given the precarious nature of life, I think with the, they test him before he left. If you need to talk to me, just wait when you get these practices. Okay.
You can open up.
All rise. 36th District Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge, Honorable Chief Judge Williams McConaughey is presiding. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Sharon just, I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's see. Calling case number 2206-019501, the people of the state of Michigan versus Nadeem Yusuf Rajput. Defendant is being charged with count 1, homicide, murder, first degree, premeditated. Count 2, weapons, felony firearm. And that's it. Appearances, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Erin Dan for the people, P78733.
I think. I have a copy fire, you would put it.
Judge, we actually filed a motion to construe the defendant's indictment as a complaint. And we actually provided a new copy of the complaint with murder in the second degree as the singular charge.
That's correct. So this defendant went to trial and was found guilty only of murder in the second degree. The felony firearm he was acquitted of. So it would be just a murder second degree that we are doing an exam on today. Oh, I'm sorry, Gabby Silver on behalf of Nadeem Rajput.
We're gonna recall the case.
Recalling case number 2206-019501.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Erin Dan for the people, P78733.
And Gabby Silver appearing on behalf of Nadeem Rajput.
Just call the case. Case. Singular.
Singular, count 1 of murder in the second degree.
Okay. Any preliminary matters?
Yes, Judge, I would make a motion to sequester witnesses, including any that may be watching on YouTube.
The people concur in this request, Judge, with the exception of the new officer in charge, Detective Catherine Gillivan, Judge.
If there's anyone in the courtroom that may testify today or in a future proceeding, I ask that you step in the hallway. If there's anyone viewing this via YouTube, you may be a potential witness. I ask that you disconnect your YouTube and watch something else, but you are not to watch this proceeding. With that being said, ask to the interpreter. State your name for the record, sir.
Secretary Army, that is supposed to qualify for interpreter in the Arabic language, Iraqi dialect.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to translate English, Arabic to English, English to Arabic to the best of your ability?
I do.
Judge, a couple more preliminary matters. The people, as the court is aware, did file a motion to construe the defendant's September 19th, 2016 indictment as a complaint under MCL 761.1 subsection G. Judge, this case has the unique posture in that it was originally charged as a one-man grand jury.
One second. The interpreter should be.
My client doesn't need an interpreter.
What, who needs to be-
Judge, this is for one of the witnesses, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor. With that said, I mean, should we excuse the
The
interpreter?
interpreter should be in the hall. I thought he was the
No,
interpreter.
no, Judge, my client is US.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did file that motion. It has the unique posture of having been originally charged pursuant to a one-man grand jury. He went to trial and it ultimately came back for something other than the Peeler decision. Nevertheless, while it was pending, Peeler came out, defense filed an motion, and we are here remanded for a preliminary examination. I think just to shore up any potential issues, Judge, we respectfully request the court construe that indictment as a complaint and actually arraign the defendant on murder in the second degree.
So,
I don't have any objection to that, Judge. Sorry for not rising.
sir, motion is agreed. Sir, stand please. Regis. his charges again, please?
I'm sorry, did you get the actual, did it come through? Your Honor, that's my fault. In my haste, I forgot to actually print the complaint. I forwarded it to the clerk.
No, it hasn't.
It
Did you
hasn't
put the
come.
email in correctly?
Would you be able to read it out to me?
Yes, I'll spell it out. MARCIA dot LOCKETT at 36TH, spell out district, spell out court.org.
That's what I sent before.
Okay, well, again, I haven't.
And again, I apologize for this, Judge. I should have had it printed.
So
Roll call.
The state of Michigan versus.
Yeah, please.
All right. Again, calling case number 2206015901, people of the state of Michigan versus Nadine Yusuf Rajput. Defendant is being charged with count 1, murder, 2nd degree. Today is the date and time for arraignment. Appearances, please.
Aaron Dan for the people, Your Honor, key 78733.
And good afternoon, Gabby Silver, appearing on behalf of Nadeem Rajput, who is present in court to my right. As to the arraignment, we would waive the formal reading and ask the court to enter a plea of not guilty on the single count of 2nd degree murder on behalf of Mr. Rajput.
Court will enter a not guilty plea after bond.
As to bond, Judge, we're asking the court to give Mr. Rajput bond. Mr. Rajput
Continue.
Mr. Rajput went to trial before Judge Lillard in the Wayne County Circuit Court. Several years ago, Mr. Rajput's conviction was reversed because of Judge Lillard's failure to give the jury a jury instruction relating to self-defense. This matter was sent back for a new trial because of that error on behalf of Judge Lillard. My client has now been in custody since 2016, and we're asking the court to give him a reasonable bond in this matter.
Judge, we respectfully request in this case that the defendant be on remand status. The court, as it is aware, may deny if the defendant commits a violent felony under 6.106 and MCL 765.5 indicates that no person charged with treason or murder shall be admitted to bail if the proof of his guilt is evident or the presumption great. In this case, Judge, you're going to see several components or pieces of evidence which demonstrate ultimately that the proof of the evidence of defendant's guilt is in fact great. And while Judge Lillard did not give that self-defense instruction, the jury actually saw that when they convicted him of murder in the 2nd degree beyond a reasonable doubt. Judge, we're requesting that bail be denied.
How can anybody say that if the jury is not given the option and the instruction and told what self-defense means, and that it is the prosecutor's burden to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant did not act in self-defense? I don't know how anybody can say, well, the jury saw that. I didn't speak to the jurors, and I'm sure Ms. Dan didn't speak to the jurors. However, the court will hear some testimony today, but you're not going to hear the whole trial. So I'm asking the court to grant Mr. Rajput a reasonable bond.
Based on the nature of the offense, based on the arguments of counsel, defendant will be granted and we are going to, the preliminary exam will be set for November 3rd. At 1:30. Any other preliminary matters, Madam Prosecutor?
Judge, Ms. Silver and I have had a chance to speak prior to the commencement of today's hearing, and I believe that there's a stipulation as to the complaining witness in this case, or the decedent by the name of Lakeisha Henry, Judge.
That first stipulation?
Yes, Judge, it is.
So stipulated.
And Judge, finally, the people would move for admission of the medical examiner's report, which has been marked as preliminary exam exhibit number 1, Judge.
Any objection?
No, Judge.
Will be admitted.
Move to publish, Judge.
Approach.
And actually, before I do that, Judge, can I read the summary into the record?
Yes.
This record, medical examiner's report was authored by Leonardo Requero, that's Roquero, MD, Assistant Medical Examiner. It was authored on May 24th, 2016. He authored, "It is my opinion that death was caused by gunshot wound to the chest." He indicates the manner of death is homicide, and for the record, the medical examiner case number is 16-5423. Thank you, Your Honor.
Still didn't come through.
Oh, it still didn't come through.
First witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the people would call Officer Mario Hernandez.
MARIO. Hernandez, HERNANDEZ.
Can you raise your right hand for me? You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Then lower your hand.
You may be seated. Sir, please keep your voice up. Your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, may I just have 1 minute? 1 moment. Thank you, Your Honor. Can you please state your name for the record?
Mario Hernandez,
And who is your employer?
City of Detroit Police Department,
And what is your rank with the City of Detroit Police Department?
police officer,
And how long have you been with the City of Detroit Police Department as a police officer?
8 years,
8 years. Were you employed by the City of Detroit as a police officer on May 7th, 2016? In what capacity?
police officer.
Okay, and what were you working at on that date?
I was working in Scott 16,
All right, were you on road patrol?
local police.
All right, and did you have a partner?
I did.
And what was his name?
Officer Smart.
And for the record, is that SWADISH?
That's all the level.
Did you present to the location of 6497 Mansfield?
I didn't.
Okay, and for what purpose did you present to that location?
We got a shots fired from the location.
Okay, and when you got to that location, did someone flag you down? And what did that person say?
It was multiple-
Objection, hearsay.
Judge, may I respond?
Please.
Firstly, it's an excited utterance.
Well, there has to be a foundational page for an excited utterance before you just go right into it.
Okay,
Objection sustained at this point.
all right, and you presented that location.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what was the reason that you presented to that location?
We got a shots fired run, so once we were going down the street, Mansfield, we came up to Warren, then southbound, we got flagged by multiple people. So the original run location wasn't where the incident happened.
Okay, and you got flagged by multiple people, and do those people appear to be excitable, or do they appear?
No, I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt, but I mean, can we focus on one person? How can we establish someone's state of mind if she's talking about those people?
Response?
Judge, he is talking about what he observed when he arrived. He's talking about how there were people there, and he's talking about what his impressions were about those people when he arrived.
But it sounds like she's trying to establish from him that somebody spoke to him. And so we need to narrow in on that person, not everybody who was out there,
Well, Judge,
not the people as a whole.
Madam Prosecutor, if you're just trying to get his impression of the scene, that's one thing. If you're trying to get the statements in that's excited out of it, you have to narrow the question.
okay, well, when you got to that location, what did you observe?
I did multiple people flagging me down.
Okay, and when you say multiple people, how many people would you say you saw?
I don't remember them. It was more than 3, I know for sure. It was a few, I just don't remember the exact number.
Okay, all right, and you went to that location because you said you received a call for shots fired.
Yes, we got police shots fired.
After you left that location, did you go to another location?
Yes, we did.
Why did you go to that other location?
Because when they pointed down, they were pointing down southbound on the street, so that's where we went to see what was going on.
Okay, when you say they, who are you talking
The
about?
people that flagged us down, I don't have the names, because when they flagged us down, they pointed southbound and I seen the car, so I just went.
Okay, you said they pointed southbound. Did they say anything else to you?
Objection again to the they.
Judge, I can rephrase. Did more than one person say something to you?
Yes,
Okay. Let's focus on one of those people. Okay, did someone say to you cause you to go to another location?
yes, ma'am.
What did that one person say to you that caused you to go to that other
Well,
location?
we haven't, she hasn't established it as an excited utterance. She already has in that people pointed him to go southbound and he saw a car, so we went down there. So if there's something more, then we need the name of a person, the description of the person, one person, so we can make a decision as to whether or not it's in fact an excited utterance.
Response?
Judge, at this point, he is saying that he went to that second location because of something someone said to him. I'm now trying to get this in under effect on the listener, Judge.
Well, the effect on the listener is that he went to the other location.
We established that we went to a location based on something that was said. We have that. We know
Right.
it's in effect.
Okay, Judge, I can.
I mean, but you haven't established enough from the side of it. Continue.
Well, Judge, it's also an effect on the listener. I mean, he is saying that he went to that,
What is the effect on the list?
that he went to that second
You
location.
have that on, that's already established on record. Someone in this group of more than 3 said something to him to go to the other block, and that's what he did. That's already established on the record.
Right.
So what do you? If you're trying to get the exact words that they said that caused the effect of the listener, you're going to have to do some more.
Absolutely, Judge. Absolutely. Someone said something to you that made you go to that second location.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how did that person appear in demeanor?
They decided, like, wow. Like, worried, like, can't describe it, but they were pointing southbound. They look worried, like somebody's upset about something that just happened. When you get some type of news that somebody's upset.
Okay, was there a certain volume that you recall or tone of their voice?
Yes, they were loud.
They, I mean, was it a he, was it a she, is there a name? Objection. We're talking they again.
Prosecutor?
Judge,
Okay, sir, continue.
Okay, I want you to focus on the one person that spoke to you. Okay,
Well, I'm sorry, you said a number of people spoke to him.
You said you were more.
right, Judge, and he also said there was something one person said to him that caused him to go to that location. I'm now asking him about that specific person, about their volume and tone. And I can direct the witness, Judge, to essentially only speak as to that singular person.
Officer, was there a singular person that said something to you that made you go to the second location?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was it a male or female?
It was a male. There was a lot of people, Your Honor.
No, I understand. I mean, it was years ago.
Madam Prosecutor, continue.
Okay, that male. You indicated, what was his volume or his tone?
It was loud.
Okay, and is that male a person that you also described as excitable?
Yes.
All right, what did that person say to you?
Judge, I want to report to you. Thank you.
Madam Prosecutor, please. No, not, you're prosecutor.
Officer, did you get a name from the person?
No, ma'am.
Did you, was the person walking or driving?
They were walking.
Okay, and, they were, was it you said it was a man?
Yes.
Was it a white man, black man, Asian man?
I don't remember, ma'am, but I do remember it was a man.
All right, and, did you, note it in your report?
I did not.
You made no notation of this information at all from anybody you spoke to on the scene in your report? Did you testify at the first trial?
I do not remember.
You don't remember if you testified at that trial? Okay, what was the person wearing?
I don't remember, ma'am.
Was he alone or with somebody else?
There was multiple people there. I just don't know.
I'm sorry?
There was multiple people there. I just don't know the exact number.
Okay, but do you know the exact words that were spoken or are
Just
you?
that because that is something that, for whatever reason, I remember.
But you remember it, but didn't put it in your report, even though it seems like it was important to you.
Well, why do you say it was important to me? I'm just answering the questions that I'm asked, and that's what I remember. If I remember correctly, when I got to, I stopped. And I don't think I put it in the report because obviously there was something going on the street that I thought was more important. So I wasn't able to get a name because of the situation was going on.
Person? Yeah. All right, Judge, I don't think there's enough here for an excited utterance. I don't know how in the world this officer can remember something that he didn't even put in his report.
Judge, is the objection sustained or overruled?
I know there was an objection at this. I thought this was accepted, but there was no objection.
Okay. Judge, permission to elicit what I'm calling the excited utterance from the witness. Thank you, Judge. Officer, what did this person say to you? Pardon?
Down there,
Did he say anything else to you? So you went to the other location. Was this also on Mansfield? And what did you observe when you arrived?
vehicle was struck. They struck the tree.
Okay, what was the color of the vehicle? Do you remember the make and model? All right, and what did you do next?
I looked inside the vehicle.
All right, you looked inside the vehicle, and what did you see?
I saw a black.
All right, and was there anything unusual about this black female?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that?
There was blood splatter on her chest area. There was waist.
Judge, can you ask the officer to keep his voice up?
So I observed the black female in the driver's seat. There was blood splatter on her chest area and down towards her body, like in the waist, like torso area. I didn't know.
Did she say anything to you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, did you notice anything unusual about her breathing?
Absolutely.
What did you notice?
She was having hard trouble breathing.
All right. What happened next?
I called for a medical response.
And did they arrive?
Yes,
All right, and did they ultimately take her out of that vehicle?
yes.
All right, and to your knowledge, where did they take her?
I believe they took it to the hospital.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear him.
That's what I remember.
Was there anyone else at the scene that you recall?
Other than my partner.
Yes. When you first arrived?
Off the top of my head, I do not remember.
Okay, can you please speak up?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, officer. Do you recall seeing any other vehicles at that scene or at that location?
Yeah, there was parked vehicles, but I don't remember the make model. And color of all the parked vehicles.
Did you ultimately do a canvass of the area?
Yes, we did.
And was this in front of 6513 Mansfield, in the city of Detroit
The
County?
canvas. You're referring to?
Pardon?
Yes, the canvas, yes.
Okay, if this was in front of 6513 Mansfield, city of Detroit County, in Wayne State of Michigan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you observe anything unusual?
Yes.
What?
Spent casings.
Did you count them?
I did count them, yes.
Okay, how many were there?
If I remember correctly, it was 5.
Did you touch them?
I don't think I did, ma'am. I don't remember, but I don't.
Did you do anything else at the scene that you recall?
I was securing the scene for the integrity of the crime. Told the vehicle.
No further questions for this witness, Judge.
Cross.
Yes, thank you. So you arrived at the area where this vehicle was, it looked like it had struck a tree, is that correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
And when you looked inside the vehicle, you said that you saw a woman and she was in the driver's seat, is that accurate?
Yes.
And was her airbag deployed?
Yes.
And what about the passenger side airbag? Was that deployed as well?
Yes, ma'am.
But there was nobody else in the car.
No, ma'am.
You told us that you found some shell casings out on the street, is that right?
Yes.
And did you notice shell casings inside that red vehicle?
I don't recall.
How about a gun near the passenger side airbag?
I didn't see the gun initially. The gun was found after. I believe that the sex did whatever they needed to do.
I see. So you were there when the evidence techs arrived?
Yes, ma'am.
You had put up the yellow tape, is that right?
I don't know if I did it or somebody else might have done it. There were multiple students there.
All right, you were just first on scene, is that correct?
That is correct, ma'am.
And how long do you think you spent out there that night?
I don't remember. It was a long time.
Yeah, and you arrived in the daytime, but stayed a good number of hours, is that right?
That is correct.
And you said that you were there when the evidence techs retrieved a gun out of that red car?
That is correct.
You saw that happen?
Well, yeah, we're there.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Redirect.
Permission to excuse this witness, Judge.
Officer, you may step down.
Yes, sir.
Your next witness.
Judge, this time the people would call, and I'm probably mispronouncing this, Hassanin El Makar. And that is, to my knowledge, Hasanin Al Makar. Maquarm.
while we're waiting for the witness?
Yes.
Did you have an opportunity to watch the video yet?
No,
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay. I figured after I saw how I got mine, it was an issue was trying to get them.
I sent it to, the Melanie Bones.
But the way that it was sent, if you don't have an accent password, an account, you're not gonna be able to open it.
I didn't.
Judge, the interview in total is 1 hour, it's 40 minutes. I'm sorry, Bobby.
That's okay.
Yeah, I've had something going on for a few weeks. And I know it's probably very important that you observe the video as opposed to just me introducing the written statement, though I'm planning to do both. I'm not entirely certain if you'd like me to, would you like me to try to play it this afternoon when we call the witness, or would you?
You're gonna get to hear them. And the way that I got it was on accent, it's very easy to watch, except I needed a password.
I'm not certain what's going on with that. Have you run into that issue with other prosecutors?
No, I loved it though, because it was so easy to watch that way.
Yeah, I sent the,
I could probably send it to you the same way I got it, you can use my password. That's how my law firm works.
or another idea I could do with judges, I could burn it to a CD or a thumb drive and bring it to you that way. As opposed to,
Just saying.
It's the easiest way.
That's just.
Okay, so I'll send it to you with my password, my username and password. Okay.
so judge, just so I'm aware, are you planning to like this afternoon and we'll pick another date or? Right. So, certainly. Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll send them.
Let me ask a question. I get to keep track of my calendar. What?
Change.
Um,
And we don't have to do in the afternoon. Easy times.
A lot of
I could do. Does anybody want to do it on the 23rd, the day before Thanksgiving? Yeah, I think she wants to.
Yeah, and I actually have a jury trial.
Okay. I could do December 7th, anytime that day. 20th or 20th. Honestly,
I can do December 7th, Judge.
I'm sorry. I'm free the whole day.
Me as well, Judge.
All right. Pearl Harbor, we,
Oh, it's December 7th?
November 7th is election.
Oh,
I have to work.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Can you raise your right hand? Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You may lower your hand.
Let's see. Wherever you can do.
Yeah, I don't.
Sir, are you holding something?
It's a point. Okay, continue. Your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, can you please state your name? Okay. All right, sir, you're going to need to speak up.
And Mr. Interpreter, you're gonna have to speak. up also.
Yeah. Okay. Sir, I'm going to ask you questions in English. Please respond in Arabic, and your interpreter will interpret them back to me in English.
أسألك أسئلة باللغة الإنجليزية والمترجم يترجم لك إياها وأنت تجاوب بالعربي والمترجم هو يترجمها باللغة الإنجليزية. أوكي. عندي سؤال.
So even if you understand my question in English and are able to respond in English, do so in Arabic.
لو أنت تفهم سؤالي باللغة الإنجليزية لا تجاوب بالإنجليزية تجاوب بالعربي والمترجم هو يترجم. أوكي.
Sir, I want to take you back to May 7th, 2016.
أجلب الانتباه إلى يوم 7 شهر 5 2016.
Okay. Did you live on Mansfield in the city of Detroit, county of Wayne, state of Michigan?
كنت أعيش على شارع مانسفيلد في مدينة ديترويت محافظة وين في ولاية ميشيغان. Yes.
At some point, were you outside of your home on Mansfield on that date?
ذاك اليوم في شارع مانسفيلد كنت شوية طالع خارج البيت صح؟ Yes.
Why were you outside?
ليش كنت أنت برا طالع؟ I was cleaning the leaves in front of my house.
Okay. Were there other people outside when you were outside?
من أنت كنت برا كان أكو غير ناس بالشارع؟ There were people going and coming because I was from the school. So yeah, there were people going and coming back and forth.
Were any of your neighbors outside?
كان قسم من جوارينك هناك بالشارع. I did not pay attention to that.
Okay. Sir, do you remember every single thing that happened on May 7th, 2016 as you sit here today?
أنت قاعد هسه اليوم هنا تتذكر كل شيء اللي صار ذاك اليوم يوم 7 شهر 5 2016. When I recall and remember, you ask me, I will tell you, but if I don't recall or remember, I can't.
Thank you. On May 7th, 2016, when you were outside, did you see something unusual?
عندما كنت كنت بالشارع برا تتنظر شفت شيء غريب صار ذاك اليوم؟ Just these two cars that were coming, one after another.
Do you remember the colors of the cars?
تتذكر ألوان السيارتين؟ I remember it was red and white.
Okay. You said that there was one car coming after another, right?
انت قلت كان السيارة تجي ورا له كانت واحدة ورا له. Yes, yes.
All right. Do you remember what car was in the front and what car was behind?
تتذكر يوم السيارة كانت هي قدام ويا السيارة اللي ورا. It was the red car first and the white car was behind it.
Okay. And were both of them driving?
اثنين كانت السيارات تمشي يسوقون. Yes, they were driving fast.
Okay. What happened next?
شنو اللي صار بعدين؟ I noticed the red car pulled over and the white car came behind it. And someone came out of the car and they shot and that's what I saw.
Okay. When you say someone came out of the car, are you talking about the red car or the white car?
يقول انت طلع واحد من السيارة يكون واضح هل طلع من السيارة الحمراء ولا السيارة البيضاء؟ From the white car.
All right. And was it one person or two people that came out of that white car?
كانت شخص لو شخصين طلعوا نزلوا من السيارة البيضاء. So there was two people in the car, but I saw just one person get out of the car.
Okay, when you say there was two people in the car, are you talking about the white car?
تقول عن السيارة البيضاء كان بيها شخصين؟ Yes.
So the one person got out and you said they shot?
تقول واحد طلع من السيارة وسمع صوت الحاد ضرب. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Did you observe, did that person, was it a male or a female?
هذا الشخص اللي طلع من السيارة البيضاء كان يعني رجال لو مرة. Was a man.
All right. Do you recall the color of his skin?
أتذكر لون جلده يعني لونه. I did not exactly look at him so closely, but it was like kind of white.
Okay. When you say kind of white, do you recall him being white?
تتذكر انه كان ابيض لو تقول يعني يشبه ابيض. Close to white, but I don't know how to describe that. I was very scared.
Okay. You said he got out and shot. Where did he shoot?
انت قلت طلع من السياره وبدا يضرب يعني طلع وين ضرب؟ He shot into the red car.
Okay. Before he shot into the red car, did you hear anything?
قبل ما ضرب بالسياره الحمراء سمعت في شيء؟ سمعت من ابن شيء؟ No, it was just yelling and talking, and it was in English. I don't understand English.
Okay, you said yelling and talking. Was it coming from the man that you observed, or do you remember?
تتذكر انه هذا الكلام والنصيحة يجي من الرجال؟ From both sides.
From both sides. When you say both sides, what other side are you talking about?
تقول الطرفين يكون واضح يعني منو الطرف هو اللي نزل من السيارة ومنو اللي كان تسمع صوته. It was from the girl in the red car. She was yelling to her.
When you say they were yelling back at her, are you talking about the man that you described?
انت تتشي يعني ذول اللي يصيحون الرجال على البنيه، تتشي الرجال اللي نزل من السياره لو اثنين. It was the girl first that I heard her yelling, but I don't understand. I don't know if she was telling them, stop, don't bother me or something like that.
Okay. After the man shot into the car, what happened next?
بعد ما هذا الرجال ضرب على السيارة الحمراء صار. He got in the car and they sped, they drove fast.
Okay, he got into the white car?
رجع الرجال بالسيارة البيضاء. Yes.
He got into the white car as the driver?
رجع بالسيارة البيضاء كسائق يعني. Yes.
And you said he sped away fast?
قلت لك يعني مشى شوية بسرعة. Yes.
What happened next?
وشي صار بعدين؟
واحد السيارة البيضاء،
You know, he sped after he sped. The lady in the red car, she turned around and she was driving and she hit a tree, and they called 911, and they could not, you know, save her. She died.
All right, did you actually go up to the car at any point, the red car?
انت في وقت من الاوقات تقدمت للسياره الحمراء، رحت شفت ايش بيصير بالسياره الحمراء ولا لا؟ I went there, but I saw that she had struck a tree and I think she was dead.
Okay. Did you ever talk to her at all?
حكيت وياها بأي وقت من الأوقات ولا لا؟ No. She was dead. I didn't talk.
Okay, you said, you saw the man shoot into the car. Did you see his gun?
أنت من شفت هذا الرجال اللي يضرب بالسيارة الحمراء، شفت المسدس مالته؟ I don't know exactly. I was very scared. I just wanted to run away from him.
Okay. Do you see the man that shot into that car in the courtroom today?
شوف هذا الرجال اللي يضرب بالسيارة الحمراء، شوف اليوم بالمحكمة. Can you repeat the question?
The man that shot into the car that you described, is he in the courtroom today? Do you see him in the courtroom today?
الشخص اللي أنت تقول طلع من السيارة وضرب طلقات، تشوفه اليوم بالمحكمة؟ I don't recall what he looked like. I mean, I know he had a beard. It's been 6 years. I can't remember.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. How many shots did you see or hear?
كم طلقة سمعت أو شفت صار كم طلقة سمعت؟ إذا تتذكر. I don't recall exactly, but it was many shots.
No further questions for this witness, Judge.
That's what my thoughts
Sir, you told us that you were standing outside on Mansfield, cleaning your leaves, is that right?
قلت إنه طالع بالشارع نظف الأوراق يعني والحديقة مالتك هي قدام صح؟ Yes.
And something drew your attention to a red car driving down your street, is that right?
أنت قلت شيء اللي جلب انتباهك لاحظت السيارة حمراء تسوق بالشارع. Yes.
And the car that drove down the street, the red car, was the passenger side closer to you or the driver's side closer to you?
السيارة الحمراء اللي كانت إذا تيجي وشفتها تسوق، أنت كنت قريب على صفحة السائق ولا صفحة الراكب؟ أنت قريب على صفحة السائق
No,
ولا
I'm
صفحة
sorry. You have to tell us what he said before you respond to him.
He's saying, I don't know what you mean.
Okay,
You not understand the question.
okay, thank you. As the red car, did the red car drive past your house?
السيارة الحمراء من كانت تسوق أبرد بيتك before it got to my house.
What does that mean before it got to your house? Did the red car pass your house or no?
السيارة الحمراء أبرد بيتك لو لا؟ It was about 100 feet away from me when I saw it, from my home.
So it stopped before it got as far as your house?
وقفت السيارة الحمراء قبل ما توصل بيتك. Yes.
And was the front part of the car, was that the part you were able to see? The front part of the car?
Wait,
When it stopped? Let me make the question a little better. When the car stopped 100 feet from your house, was it the front part of the car that you were able to see?
وقفت السيارة 100 قدم بعيدة عنك. كنت أشوف مقدمة السيارة، كنت أشوف مقدمة السيارة. She started behind my neighbor's car and they squeezed her.
The red car stopped behind your neighbor's car?
السيارة الحمراء وقفت شوية ورا سيارة جيرانك. Yes.
And when you saw, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Because he's pointing with his hand, you have to pay attention. I don't know what he means by that, but he said, stop, and they came and they squeezed her.
Okay. When the red car stopped behind your neighbor's car, did you see then the front of the red car?
من وقفت السيارة الحمراء ورا سيارة جيرانك، كنت تشوف مقدمة السيارة الحمراء؟ No, because the neighbor's car was in front of it.
All right, was it the front of the car or the back of the red car that was directly behind your neighbor's car?
كان مقدمة سيارتها ورا سيارة الجيران ومؤخرتها ورا سيارة الجيران. The front of the red car.
So the white car then stops next to the red car, is that right?
تقول السيارة البيضاء وقفت بجانب السيارة الحمراء. Yes.
And you told us that somebody got out of the white car, is that right?
أنت قلت واحد طلع من السيارة البيضاء صح؟ Yes.
And to be clear, you have, the night that this happened, you spoke to the police outside of your house, is that right?
أنت يوم اللي صارت الحادثة حكيت ويا الشرطة ويا البوليس بنفس ذيك الليلة. I did not speak to the police. There were people in civil clothing. They spoke to me.
All right, and you understood them to be police officers, is that right?
كنت افتهمت إنه هذول الشرطة يعني صح ملابسين ملابس الشرطة. Yes.
And so that we're clear on this record, you don't speak fluent English, is that correct?
خلينا نكون واضحين. أنت ما تحكي اللغة الإنجليزية بطلاقة صح؟ Yes, that's correct.
But you are able to understand English, is that correct?
بس أنت عليك تقدر شوية تفهم اللغة الإنجليزية. Yeah, I explained it to them. I understand something, and I was explaining to them with my hands what happened.
Okay, but that wasn't the question. The question is, you do understand much of what I'm asking you, don't you?
هي مو هاي الحكي، الحكي أنت هسه بدك تفهم أكثر شيء اللي أنا دا أقول لك إياه بالإنجليزي. No, I'm not understanding 100% of what you're saying.
And when you testified at the trial in this case, do you remember back in 2016, September of 2016, you came to court and testified in court. Do you remember that?
تتذكر يوم شهر 10 2016 لما رحت رفعت شهادتك للمحكمة تتذكر؟ Yes, I remember.
And you remember you were being asked questions and you had an interpreter that day too, right?
كان يسألوك أسئلة وكان عندك مترجم ذاك اليوم. Yes.
And you remember that oftentimes you began to answer questions before the interpreter could explain to you what was going on. Do you remember that?
تتذكر انه كنت انت دورات تجاوب الاسئله قبل ما المترجم كان يوضح لك شنو هو السؤال. I understand a little bit. I don't understand the whole question.
How long have you been in this country, sir?
قد صار لك عيش بهالبلد. Since 2012.
So 10 years.
Yes.
The night that you made a statement to the police in the civilian clothes, the police officer asked you some questions, didn't he?
من جوي دول الشرطة اللي لابسين مدني أقول لك بعض الأسئلة سألوا بعض الأسئلة صح؟ Yes.
And you gave the police officer some answers, is that right?
وأنت أعطيتهم بعض الأجوبة حسب أسئلتهم صح؟ Yes.
And you didn't tell the police officer, hey, I can't understand English, did you?
أنت ما قلت لهم للشرطة بوقتها إنه ده دقيق عن ترى ما أفهم اللغة الإنجليزية. No, I told them, but you know, they understood me with my hand gestures and I could communicate.
All right, and you gave the police a lot of information, is that right?
أنت أعطيت الشرطة معلومات هواية داخل اليوم. Yes. He asked me and I answered to the best of my ability.
Right. And he asked you if he asked you to describe what you had seen, is that right?
سألوه كأنه هو شنو اللي شفته ذاك اليوم. صح؟ Yes.
And you told the police officer that day that you saw the red car, is that right?
أنت قلت لهم إنه شفت السيارة الحمراء أولاً. Yes.
And that there was some argument between the red car and the white car, is that right?
أنت قلت كانت شوية جدال نقاش بين السيارة ناس السيارة الحمراء والسيارة البيضاء. Yeah.
Yeah, and you told the police exactly where the red car had stopped on the street, is that right?
أنت قلت لهم للشرطة ووضحت لهم وين بالضبط وقفت السيارة الحمراء صح؟ Yes.
And you told the police that night that two people got out of the white car, is that right?
وأنت ذاك الليلة قلت شخصين طلعوا من السيارة صح؟ There were two people in the car and only one got out. Maybe the officer did not understand.
So are you telling this court that you did not tell the police officer that two people got out of the white car?
إذا تقدر تقول لنا إنه أنت باللغة العربية وفهمت الشرطة أنا ما قلت لهم إنه اثنين نزلوا من السيارة. I told them yeah, there was two people in the car, but only one of them got out of the car.
That wasn't the question. Listen very carefully to the question that I'm asking you. Are you telling this court that you never told any police officer the night of this incident that two people got out of the white car?
انت تقول لنا اليوم انه بيجي الليله انت ما قلت لهم للشرطه انه اثنين نزلوا من هاي السياره البيضاء. I told them only one person got out of the car.
After the police officer finished writing a statement, did you put your signature on the bottom of it?
الشرطه كتب هذا التقرير انت وقعت توقيعك نهايه هاي الورقه الشهاده. Yes.
And you put your signature on the bottom of two pieces of paper, is that right?
كانت ورقتين حطيت توقيعك على الورقتين صح؟ Yes.
All right. May I approach the witness, Judge?
Yes.
Take that statement, please. Have you ever seen that before?
شفت شايفه هاي سابقا؟ شايفه سابقا؟ Yes.
And that's your signature on it, is that right?
هذا توقيعك جوا صح؟ Yes.
You see on that first page where you told the police officer that two people got out of the white car. Actually, you said the driver and a passenger got out of the white car. Do you see that?
Is that the second highlighted? Counsel?
Yeah, it's highlighted.
هذا بقول لك انه انت قلت انه السائق والراكب قاعد عارف قاعد يطلعوا من السياره البيضاء. هذا هو اللي كتبه. I'm telling you, to the best of my knowledge, I told them there was two people in the car and only one guy got out of the car, the driver.
I heard that.
That's not my fault.
I heard that. You see on that statement above your signature, where it says 2 people got out. You see that?
بشوف إن هذا يقول لك إيه، بشوف هذا التقرير يقول أنه السائق والراكب طلعوا من السيارة البيضاء.
هي قلت له بس واحد نزل والثاني بس نزل بس ما نزل هو ما فهم السؤال هو
So he did not understand my
Excuse
answer.
me.
Yeah.
Sir, I don't want to keep going over this. Can you read the statement at the bottom and read it to him to make sure he sees what it says and then ask your question?
كانوا يجادلون. وبعدين السائق والراكب طلعوا من السيارة البيضاء واثنين وبدأوا يضربون فرقان بالسيارة الحمراء. هذا هو اللي يقول لك الحاكم يقرأ لك إياه، هذا هو التقرير.
Okay, no. Did you understand what the
أهم شيء
interpreter read to you?
sorry.
So you did understand what he read to you?
إيه.
Okay,
أهم شيء
you're
قرأت
with
لك إياه أنا. إيه.
Did you say that to the police officer? Yes or no?
Objection, ask and answer. I don't know how many times she can ask the same question
I don't know.
over and over.
Objection's overruled.
يقول لك تتذكر انه انت قلت لهم رجعوا ايده لا قلت لهم انه اثنين نزلوا من السياره.
اثنين بالسيارة بس واحد نزل وواحد بالسيارة ما نزل بس اللي يسألني يجوز ما فهم عليه.
Keep saying, I said 2 people in the car, 1 person got out.
Is that a no? Are you saying you did not tell the police officer what's in your statement?
هل تقول انت ايضا الشيء الموجود بهاي الشهاده اللي يكتبوها عنك، هل تقول انه انت ما قلت هالشيء هذا للشرطه؟
نو قلت بس هو يجوز فهمني نزلوا اثنين انا قلت اثنين بالسيارة بس واحد نزل بس هو البوليس يجوز ما فهم سؤالي 100%.
Saying that the police maybe did not understand my question when I said there was 2 people in the vehicle and only 1 person got out of the vehicle.
What else in that statement didn't you tell the police? Take a look at it.
شنو بعد اللي انت قلت للشرطه على هاي التقرير مالك؟ شنو؟
يعني ما اتذكر يعني ذاك الوقت شنو بس انا اللي كتبته للبوليس لانه اثنين اشخاص بالسيارة واحد نزل وواحد بالسيارة صار.
The witness keep repeating the same thing. I told the police there was 2
That,
people in
that,
the car and only 1 got out.
that was not the question. I'm asking you, sir, to take a look at your statement that you signed and tell us what other things in there are wrong that you did not tell the police.
So why are you hollering at me?
No,
Why are you
okay,
yelling?
sir. What you need to do is you answer the questions that are asked, okay? If you don't understand, say I don't understand, it'll be rephrased. What you're being asked to do now is to look at that statement, okay? And don't say anything else. Just read through that full statement, okay? And then the attorney's gonna ask another question.
Your Honor, you would need help reading it. You
You
would not
get help
understand it.
to read the statement.
Yes. أعطانك هاي يقول لك بقى شنو قلت كان غلط. قلت له شنو اللي صار ذاك اليوم؟ أنا شنو قدام الباب كان نظف الحشيش قدام بابي. زين؟ وأنا شفت السيارة حمراء كانت تجي من الشارع بتروح باتجاه الجنوب ساوث. السيارة الحمراء وقفت هناك وراء السيارة وراء سيارة أخرى مكتبة مع جوانب. رايت ذير هناك بالشارع. السيارة البيضاء جتني وطبت عليهم صفهم صف السيارة الحمراء وبدأوا يجادلون. بعدين السائق والراكب هذه هي شهادتك درايفر السائق طلعوا من السيارة وضربوا بدأوا يضربون فرقان بالسيارة الحمراء. بعدين ركبوا بسيارته وغادروا المكان باتجاه الجنوبي. بعدين السيارة الحمراء اتكررت وراحت مشت ضربت السيارة مشت بطريقة شمال نورث وضربت شجرة وهناك وش اسمه. تعرف ليش كانوا يجادلون؟ قلنا أنا ما أعرف. تقدر توصف لنا البنية الموجودة بالسيارة؟ أنت بس قلت سوداء ومريح حوالي عمرها 28 شعرها أسود. الأشخاص اللي كانوا بالسيارة البيضاء كان واحد عمره 28 كان حجمه وسط شعره أسود عنده لحية وعنده شوارب قدام كان عنده يعني ما اعرف شنو ملابسه، كان عنده مسدس اسود، والراكب كان ابيض همين عمره 28، هم طوله يعني وسط وعالي.
Have you finished the first page?
Both pages, yeah.
Okay, what else in that statement, other than only one person got out, what else is wrong in that statement?
هاي الشهاده اللي انت كاتبها، شكو بعد اشياء غلط عدا هاي اللي انت تقول انه قلت شخص واحد وشخص اثنين قالوا هم مكتوب انه نزلوا، اكو بيها غلط هاي اللي قريتك اياها؟ No, there is nothing.
Nothing else is wrong in there.
ماكو بعد اي شيء غلط بيها. No.
So the police officer understood everything else but that one part.
اذا يعني المفتش
Objection, calls for speculation. How would he know whether the police officer understood anything?
Well,
Objection system.
Thank you. May I approach again by saying
Yes.
that? Thank you.
يقول شلون
So-
اعرف الشرطه كل شيء عرف، بس هاي ما اعرف انه انت قلت شلون اتهم عليك كل شيء، بس ما اتهم انه انت قلت واحد لا هو كتب الاثنين. I don't know.
التسمية مش مخصوصة. واحد نزل واحد.
There's no question. What-
There's no question.
what's happening?
No question.
ماكو شيء لا تحشى. ارجع بالسؤال. Just answer the question.
All right, so you've told us that the front of the red car was facing where you could see the front of the car from where your house was, is that right?
يقول السياره الحمراء وقفت وين ما انت شلت، يعني لو كان ماكو سياره قدامك كان تقدر تشوف مقدمتها صح؟ Yes.
Was the driver's side of that red car or the passenger side of that red car closer to where you were, so to your side of the street?
يعني انت وين ما كنت بالسطح اللي انت بالشارع والسياره الحمراء اللي كنت تدور عليها، انت قريب على سياره الراكب ولا السائق؟
السيارة هي اللي بتساعد. وبعدين هم
I was looking at the red car and they came and we tried to squeeze it.
Was the red car's driver's side closer to your house or the passenger side?
بس يجي افهم السؤال، السياره الحمراء اللي تتباوع بيها، هل انت قريب على صفحه السائق ولا على صفحه الراكب؟
هذا قريب عن السيارة.
I'm closer to the car.
السايد ما هذا السايد ما في ما نور. هذا السايد ما نور. هاي السيارة.
This is my side and I'm standing right here.
This is car. And here.
I'm sorry, can you interpret that? I didn't.
Well, I think with his gestures, I don't know, you're watching his gestures. He
Okay,
says,
okay, what? Mr. Interpreter, I need you to interpret everything he's saying. Say that. Ask him to interpret gestures. But I need whatever he says to you in Arabic. I need you to say that back in English. Well, for the next you can hear it, I can hear it, and the attorney. Okay, ask the question one more time about whether the passenger side or the door or the driver's side was.
Was the, from where you were standing by your house raking your leaves, when you looked at the red car after it stopped, was the driver's side closer to you or the passenger side closer to you?
this is my question. انت شفتها بالسيارة وانت وين ما واقف. ياهو كان اقرب عليك صفحة السائق ولا صفحة الراكب؟ The passenger side.
The
Passenger side.
passenger side, okay. So when the white car stopped, was the passenger side or the driver's side of the white car closer to the red car?
مفرد السيارة البيضاء بصف السيارة الحمراء. يا صفحة السيارة البيضاء كانت قريبة على السيارة الحمراء، صفحة الراكب ولا صفحة السائق؟ The white car. Yeah, the white car just go this way and he's making that gesture with his hand.
Was it passenger side to passenger side?
السيارة البيضاء من مفرد بصف السيارة الحمراء. هل الباب السائق كان بصفها لو باب الراكب؟
No, Baba, what?
With the passenger side.
Okay, so the passenger sides were right next to each other.
وإذا صفحة الراكب كان واحد بصف الله.
يوم اثنين في نفس الوقت.
Yeah, they both going in the same direction.
So it sounds like what you're telling us then is that the person who shot, well, let me ask you, did the person who was shooting shoot into the passenger side of the car?
الرجال اللي طلع من السيارة البيضاء كان يضرب على السيارة الحمراء من صفحة الراكب لصفحة السائق. He got out and he shot just like that.
Was he shooting into the passenger side of the car or the driver's side?
زين تفهم السؤال. من ضرب الطلقات ضرب من صفحة السيارة ضرب من صفحة الراكب لصفحة السائق.
السيارة اللي اجت وهو وقف هو نزل وضرب.
He got out, he turned around and he came and shot it.
What side of the car did he shoot into?
يا صفحة من السيارة الحمراء ضربنا من ضرب الطلق. He came from here and she's doing like that and he shot it.
Did he shoot into the driver's side or to the passenger side?
ضرب الطلق ضرب على السيارة الحمراء من صفحة الراكب لو من صفحة السائق. From the passenger side.
There's no question.
Could you see what the woman was doing?
كنت تشوف شلون المريض تسوي؟ No, just yeah.
Nothing further, thank you.
Direct.
Sir, do you read English writing?
أنت تقرأ وتكتب لغة إنجليزية؟ No.
What does passenger side mean to you?
إذا واحد قال لك passenger صفحة الراكب شنو معناها؟ The passenger means somebody right next to the driver.
Okay, so it is your testimony that the man that got out of the white car was the driver of that car,
أنت تقول إنه اللي طلع من السيارة كان السائق. Yes.
okay? He got out of the car, went around, you were signaling earlier, he went around the car, around the white car?
من طلع من السيارة البيضاء راح دائر مدائر السيارة وضرب ببنية السيارة الحمراء. When he got out of the car, he went around his car and he shot it.
Okay, and he shot into the red car, correct?
بدأ يضرب بالسيارة الحمراء. Yes.
And he shot into the passenger side.
ضرب على السيارة الحمراء من صفحة الراكب. Yes. Yes.
No further questions.
Sir, you may step down.
Permission for the witness to excuse Judge Lewis. Thank you.
I need 2 minutes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can I actually go outside
Bring it
myself?
next, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
How you doing? Interpreter. Just take the word. Sounds like a judge. Gotta wait.
I tried to give it to you earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's when we get the original order copy.
He needs the original.
Sorry, you got a left. Don't even think we're meeting with this is. What?
Mrs.
No,
Cole.
I'll go with the black.
I'm not putting it in.
Not putting it in.
He's out there if you want to
Not
call.
really.
For the executive session.
Next witness.
Just one moment. time that people would call Detective Jesus Colon?
Raise your hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, you can lower your hand, give your name to the court reporter. Spell in of your name.
Sir, have a seat. Keep your voice up. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Detective, can you please state your full name for the record?
Jesus Cologne.
Okay, and you're a detective with the Detroit Police Department?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been a detective with DPD?
I've been farming for 2 years.
All right, were you the detective assigned to the investigation of the death of Lakeisha Henry back in 2016?
Yes,
All right, and you were the officer in charge?
definitely, yes.
All right, so ultimately, you were with the DPD on May 1st, 2016.
Sorry. I didn't hear you.
Okay, you were with DPD on May 7th, 2016.
Yes,
Okay, on May 7th, 2016, did you respond to the scene on, or a crime scene on the street of Mansfield, city of Detroit, county of Wayne, state of Michigan?
yes.
What did you observe when you arrived?
Well, we had 3 scenes at that point. That was the main point, the one that was addressed. There was a vehicle there. Stopped at the tree.
Okay, did you actually see the vehicle that was stopped at the tree?
Yes,
All right, was it stopped at the tree when you arrived, or was it on the tow truck when you arrived?
when I arrived, it was still, they were waiting for the tow truck.
Okay, did you actually go up to that car and look inside?
I looked wrong. Looking at something.
Okay, did you observe anything unusual about the exterior of that car?
Besides finding damage, it had multiple bullet impacts.
Do you remember what side of the car it was on?
In the front and the rear.
Okay, when you arrived at the scene, was there anyone inside of that red vehicle?
No, the complainant, Ms. Henry was actually conveyed by the time I
Are you talking about Lakeisha Henry?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you observe any blood on the interior or exterior of that vehicle when you arrived?
Yes,
Where was it?
the driver's side. See,
Excuse me, sir. Did you ultimately identify the owner or the registrant of that vehicle?
yes,
Who was it?
Ms. Henry,
Is it talking about Lakeisha Henry?
yes.
And what kind of car was it specifically?
2011.
Right? Are you certain about that? Is it 2002?
Roughly back then.
But it was a Malibu,
Yes.
red in color? Red in color?
Burgundy red.
Okay. Was there any other vehicles on the scene, civilian vehicles on the scene when you arrived?
At that particular scene.
Ultimately, are you pretty familiar with the location of Gore and Mansfield when you responded?
Sorry.
Are you familiar with the general area of Mansfield?
Yes.
All right. Did you ultimately identify the address or of Nadine Rajput?
Yes, Mr. Rashford lived on 40, just north of.
And so the court has kind of an idea of the relationship between Gore and Mansfield. How far are the two of those locations from one another?
Possibly.
Okay. And ultimately, did you identify a suspect in this case?
Yes.
All right. And did you interview that suspect?
Which one?
Okay. Did you interview someone by the name of Nadine Rajput?
Yes.
All right. Is Nadine Rajput in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you please describe to the court what he's wearing?
A gentleman sitting in the car to my right, just right, front bench, where we go. The county, well, and you'll see here, we wearing mask here.
Okay. And did this interview, let the record reflect, Judge, that the witnesses identified the defendant Nadine Rajput?
The record reflect identification.
Thank you, Judge. And did you interview Mr. Rajput on September 17th, 2016?
Yes,
And where did you interview him at?
Detroit Detention Center.
And was that interview recorded?
Yes,
Was there anyone with you when you interviewed him?
yes.
Who?
On that time, it was my partner, Officer
What's Officer McDonald's first name?
James.
At the content of the interview, did you confirm that Mr. Rajput spoke and read the written English word?
Yes,
Okay. And did you present to him a constitutional right certificate of notification?
yes, I had him read it out loud. to me. So, it's,
Did he in fact read it out loud to you?
yes,
All right, and next to each of the constitutional rights, did he initial his initials? And did he actually sign that certificate?
yes.
Question to approach, Judge.
Yes.
Handing the witness People's Proposed Exhibit number 3. Sir, is that an accurate reflection of the certificate that you presented to Mr. Rajput? He read and signed.
Correct.
Move to admit People's Exhibit number 3, Judge.
I don't have any objection to that.
Be admitted.
All right. Move to publish, Judge.
Yes. And two.
Judge, I turn over water to Ms. Sullivan.
I don't have any report here today, thank you.
Okay.
And you indicated that interview was recorded.
Yes,
All right, did you present that recording of the interview to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office and the warrant stage or around the warrant stage for its review?
yes,
Have you had an opportunity to review that video?
yes,
Permission to approach with People's Proposed Exhibit number 2, Judge.
Yes.
Detective, to your knowledge, did you, would this just a copy of his interview being accurate reflection of what actually occurred during the interview on that date?
yes,
Move to admit People's Proposed Exhibit number 2, Judge,
No objection.
and ask that it be published to the court. Ultimately, Detective, did you reduce Mr. Rajput's statements into writing?
yes,
Did you have him read the statements that you wrote out?
yes,
Okay, did he read them?
yes,
Did he signify an understanding of what he was reading? And did he ultimately sign his statement?
that's how I recall, signed it or not.
Okay, is move to
I object to the admission of whatever it is. The court is going to watch the video, which is the best evidence. So I don't see any need for the court to have a summarized statement. When you've got the best evidence, which is the video.
Judge, I think that the court can actually see what the best evidence is. The statement is almost 2 hours in length. Okay, ultimately, the weight of this evidence, the objection ultimately, I think, goes to the weight of this evidence in this case. We ask the statement be, this written document be admitted as proper evidence. Judge, you've authenticated it.
What? He authenticated.
This, the witness is authenticated, yes, sir. Or you.
Was it, I didn't understand, was it signed or not signed?
Well, it indicates at the bottom that it was requesting attorney. And I know that he ultimately stopped the interrogation.
Well, is she testifying now, Judge? That's why the video has been presented to the court.
That was just asking when it signed.
Yeah.
No, Judge, it's not.
Objection sustained.
Thank you, Your Honor. Remember the questions for this witness, Judge?
Ross.
Yes, thank you. Detective Cologne, as part of your duties, you told us you were the officer in charge right from the beginning of this case, is that correct?
That's correct.
You said, were you also the officer in charge of the case People versus Dwayne Clay that was related to this matter?
Yes, I was.
And Dwayne Clay is who in relation to Akeisha?
The boyfriend.
Did you ever take a statement from Dwayne Clay?
Yes,
Did you ever take a statement from David Henry?
yes.
You took the statement from David Henry?
Well, I'm also in charge, so me myself will find someone to.
Okay, well, I'm specifically asking you if you spoke to David Henry.
I spoke to them.
All right, and are you the person, when, well, let me ask you that, when did you speak to David Henry?
There were time frames on the statement.
Well, if it has the name of Sergeant Derek Griffin on it as the person taking the statement, does that change your mind, or?
Well, Sergeant Griffin, if you were on the each of the things.
Okay,
I'm
well,
sorry,
that's,
I couldn't hear you.
So Sergeant Griffin's name is on the statement, Your Honor. That means, Sergeant Griffin took the statement.
oh, so you didn't take it,
I didn't say I did. That's it. You
I'm
asked-
sorry?
I didn't say I did. You asked me if I spoke to him. I said yes.
Okay, but you didn't take the statement.
That's correct.
Now, you told us that you had 3 scenes not that day, is that right?
Correct.
And when you said 3 scenes, you mean 3 scenes related to this incident, is that correct?
That's correct.
What were the 3 scenes related to this incident?
The first one is where Florian Warren.
And what's at Fourier and Warren?
That's where Mr. Rashford's vehicle was shot at.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
That's the location Mr. Rashford was shot at.
And at that location, did you, was there any evidence found, such as shell casings or anything of that nature?
Yes,
How many shell casings were found at that location?
I recall roughly altogether we had in all 3 scenes, I think.
No, I'm asking you specifically about the
Okay.
scene at, let me finish. At Fourier and Warren.
5 or 6.
And that's to the best of your recollection, is that correct?
That's correct.
And those casings ultimately were sent by you to the Michigan State Police, is that correct?
That's correct.
And the casings that came from that location, you learned came from 2 different guns, is that correct?
If I recall, it's 2 different calibers.
Okay, 2 different guns or just 2, what does
2
that mean?
different calibers.
What does that mean?
Might be 2 different guns. It's 2 different guns.
Okay, it might mean 2 different guns.
Yes.
In fact, that's what the reports indicate, is that correct?
So the report says yes.
Well, you know that, you sat through the
Well,
trial.
it's 6 years
Let
also,
me
so I'm
finish
trying to,
You have to let me finish the question.
Officer, wait till you finish it, and if you don't understand, just ask me.
that's the reason I stand up.
I got you.
She's over rapid.
I understand, but just wait. Just wait. All right, continue.
Do you want to look at the reports?
Sure.
Sure. All right.
What's the question?
The question was, the casings that you found at Fourier and Warren came from 2 different guns, is that right?
Correct.
I'm sorry?
Correct.
And in the vehicle, the red burgundy-ish red Malibu. Okay. There were a number of shell casings found inside that vehicle. Is that correct?
Correct.
And those shell casings were of the same caliber as the shell casings that were at the Fourier and Warren address. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And those shell casings that were inside that vehicle matched the casings that were at the Fourier Warren address. Is that correct?
Correct.
Inside that red burgundy Malibu, there was also a weapon located, a gun. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
A gun with an extended clip. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of gun was that? If you remember.
Sorry?
If you remember.
We're the report I have right here, so it was a
Perfect.
model 17 10-4 block 9mm.
All right. And that matched the shell casings, not only the ones in that car, but also the ones at Fourier and Warren. Is that right?
Yes. Okay.
I have no other questions. Thank you.
Redirect.
I think we're gonna judge.
Also, you may step down.
Judge, can you just use the restroom for 5 minutes?
Do you have a little?
I haven't decided to come to that 12 date time, right? And I do need to use the restroom. Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, do you want this CD? It's the Genentech version of the CD, the one that I tried to share with you is on copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said, we're gonna do the easy.
All
Do
right.
you want to give me the email to send it to us? God, is it 100 degrees in there?
Oh, it's a lot cooler here than check.
Oh, geez. What?
What?
Check.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I hear you. All right, I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Slow it down a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna send it, I'm gonna forward it to you along with my password, so you can just get it down. However, she sent it this time, was so easy. Judge, I sent it. Could you just confirm that you received it? Yeah, I didn't even know I had. But that is like, all the evidence came that way. Jeez, how did it come? It can't. You just pop it, pop it up, and the video plays, and there's markers on the bottom. It's,
Yes, I received it.
it's incredible. Do you want to see if you can open it over here? Like, I don't know how you did it. I'm like, whoa.
Well, I don't really know how, so I usually.
That's the best.
I can show it. I sent, I think for that, I sent it down.
I'm gonna try.
I didn't have to download it. It's just playing.
So you know, to the one that I can use.
Yeah, I know, that was the only. That's-
But it's, I get active.
Madam Prosecutor, real quick, real quick. Are you calling the?
Judge, the people have no further witnesses at this time.
All right, let's back on the record. We're on the record now.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Judge. Aaron Danica, the people, P 7873.
And Gabby Silver appearing on behalf of the G rest.
It's my understanding that you have no further witnesses for today.
Correct, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, we will reconvene December 7th at 10 a.m. I am going to watch the statement that was given, the 2-hour video, and we will resume.
Can I just want to inquire from my client, because he may want to be sent back to MDOC. Would it be possible to just, if he doesn't have the objection, to just zoom him in for the argument?
No objection from the people, Judge.
That's fine.
Is that fine
Yes.
with you, Mr. Rajput?
Yes, that's fine. Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much. See you guys December 7th.
Thank you,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor.
Be back in here.
Nice to meet you today.
Okay, I'll talk to him.
No, you're right, he's on there. So no, I just need to put it, I'm doing it.
Okay, I'm sorry, back on the record. Since the defendant will be zooming in, we'll be able to use my courtroom, we'll be in 533.
Okay,
We'll be 533 on December 7th at 10.
and that's just on the hall, Judge.
Right. I hope it feels better.
Yeah, Judge, this has been 3 weeks in the making, really.
Are you gonna be here for a minute?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I'm gonna do this minute.
Okay, I'm not, I don't want to sit here.
No, you don't have to sit here.
Not right now.
No, right, that's the right in there too. You can go to your office. The chambers.